Hey guys, she's Chris.
And this is John.
And this is our first ever episode, like official episode of Right Off the Bat, where we're going to do a little movie reviews. And we're going to be talking about Andy Muschietti's It.
Yes, we just got back from the theater, so we're pretty jazzed up, pretty excited about it. Have a lot to say. This is going to be our non-spoiler review. So we're not going to, ruin anything for those of y'all who haven't seen it. The movie just opened. So we will keep our lips sealed on that. If you want to check out the spoiler review, we will be putting that up shortly as well.
Yeah, purely non-spoiler stuff here. And we're going to be talking about stuff we liked firsthand, to start off with. Mm-hmm. And, right off the bat, this movie was awesome. It was really great, really scary. You need to see it. The tone was a perfect balance of humor and scariness, and it just worked out really well. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was, and I was really happy. It gave me something that I didn't even know that I wanted, which was awesome. It's pretty great. Stand-up performances for you?
Definitely Finn Wolfhard as Richie Tozier. And the other kid, Jack Dylan Grazer, who played Eddie Kasprak, the young Eddie Kasprak. I loved watching the kids. The kids really stole the show for me. Okay,
so the guy that played, the kid that played Richie Tozier was also the actor from Stranger Things, which was also really awesome. And he did a really great job here. Stole the show. Almost stole the show. I think the kid that played Eddie was the funniest thing of the movie. The best comic relief, and it was always at the right spot, just the right time, just the right line, perfectly nailed it.
It's gray water.
What the hell's gray water?
It's basically piss and shit. So I'm just telling you, you guys are splashed around in millions of gallons of dairy pee. So, are you serious?
Doesn't smell like caca to me, senor.
Have you ever heard of a staph infection?
Other great performances. What did you think?
I really like Bill Skarsgård. He is no Tim Curry.
But a deltoid and a bicep, a hot groin and a tricep makes me woo.
God bless him. Did a great job with the material. His gangly body and striking blue eyes really, helped the character of Pennywise the Clown. But I still love Tim Curry. Not to take anything away from Bill Skarsgård, he did a great job. I just, I preferred Tim Curry.
Yeah, since it's a remake from the miniseries, you can't help but compare the two performances of Bill Skarsgård and Tim Curry. And since this came out in the '90s and there's a bit of nostalgia behind it, Tim Curry's like, man, I love Tim Curry. So when Bill Skarsgård first opens his mouth, he's like, that's not Tim Curry. Mm-hmm. But still, he kind of does his own thing with it, and it's really great. Yeah, scary when it needed to be. He totally used his physicality with the role as this kind of gangly mess that's coming at you all wet and screaming. And man, I loved it. I thought it was done so well. Mm-hmm. Because, the miniseries was, it's nostalgic because I saw it when I was a kid, and that's what scared me as a kid. It didn't really, age well.
Yeah, a lot of the effects were practical, so sometimes the effects got a little hokey, but...
You're talking about the original one?
The original one, yeah. The miniseries. And it aired on TV originally, so I don't think it had the kind of budget that this movie had. Mm-hmm. But it was really great. I only recently started watching the original miniseries by myself. That just goes to show you how much of a chicken poop I am. But going into this movie, the new It, I told myself I was not going to cover my eyes, and I did not. And I took it like a champ. I thought it was awesome. To me, it was more like a supernatural Stand By Me. That was the vibe that it gave me, and I really enjoyed it. It had some what we like to call boo moments, where it just kind of, the music hits and it scares you, it startles you. Mm-hmm. It did have a few of those, but for the most part, it was really enjoyable for me, and that's saying something when I really don't like watching scary movies that much, and it's not something I would watch by myself.
Yeah, since it's a concept back from the 90s, you can't help but compare it to modern day horror movies. When you put it up against stuff like The Conjuring or Insidious, it doesn't have those type of scares. There's a couple of boo scares, but the scariness comes from watching these really great characters that you like in jeopardy or in peril. That's where the real tension comes from. It's not like a lot of boo-ness in there. They're there. Those jump scares are there, but it's not what the whole movie is, and it's really great.
Yeah, the story was incredibly well developed. You really cared about the kids. Yeah, the Losers Club is what the gang of kids called themselves. We've got Mike, who's like the only black kid in town. Apparently, I didn't see any other black kids.
Yes, Derry's very white. Derry, Maine.
Yeah, Derry Maine in the 80s apparently is very white. Beverly Marsh, who's like the poor girl, super pretty, and everybody for some reason thinks she's really slutty. I guess rumors in a small town.
Right, really go.
Yeah. Stan Uris, who's Jewish. You don't really know anything else about him other than he's Jewish. He's the
Stanley?
father. Yeah. And
It kind of was the same way in the miniseries a little bit, wasn't it?
yeah. Yeah. Well, you saw that he was very like Boy Scout, very.
Oh, that's
following
right.
the
Boy
rules.
Scouting was his thing.
Yeah. But you cared about all the kids. They, so when they go in the battle scenes, like John was saying, you're scared for them, not scared of the monster yourself necessarily.
Right.
The music, we were talking about the music was awesome.
Score was fantastic. Oh man, okay, they did this great thing where the score, I think it had his own theme music, it seemed like, because every time it came on the screen, the music got really great. Before he started screaming, it got like these eerie, I don't know, sounds to it. It was really great.
Yeah, it went along with the movie. The whole tone of the movie, like you were saying, was just really enjoyable. I mean, if you don't go to see a lot of movies and you want to get your money's worth and have a great time, this was that, and it'll stay with you. The story has a lot of heart. I really looked at it as more of as an adventure movie, which is,
Yeah, like you say, it was like Stand By Me, but scary, almost like Stranger Thingsy, where it was scary but not too scary, and it was really elevated by the humor of it.
Mm-hmm. And the heart of the kids and the innocence of that time when you're not a little kid anymore, but you're barely starting to notice the world around you as like an adult, but you're not an adult, so you can't really do things that you want to do. And you see the kids, aside from battling the monster, have their own
Personal
restrictions.
stuff, yeah. It's like a coming-of-age story with monsters. It's really great. I loved it. I want to say that the story was also really super tight. The script was super tight, that it would throw in small bits of exposition just kind of casually, like really conversationally. So it came off as super organic. It was like, oh, that was a nice little bit of exposition. Let's keep the movie going. It wasn't like out of place or odd, except maybe one point. It got a little kind of, a little bit too much. But I'll throw that in the spoiler discussion. A little bit more specific criticisms, because the criticisms that I do have come from story plot points, but not so much where it would kind of bring the score down too much at all. It's kind of like a little bit, oh, this is a movie.
So I loved it.
I fucking loved it. I highly recommend you see it. Do not watch it at a Cinemark movie theater, because everyone's going to talk around you on their phone, and they're going to make you get your own popcorn butter.
Yeah, we were sitting next to these teenage girls who did not know what was what in the world. So it was cool watching them get scared. That was awesome.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
it was
that.
cool seeing like younger kids get scared to the stuff that we saw back when we were a kid. But it sucks hearing like older people just talk about like, oh, I got my hair done the other day. I was like, shut up, bitch. I'm trying to watch it.
Yeah. This is a movie that's been years in the making, so I'm really excited to have seen it on screen today, and I cannot wait to get the special features going and see what else was left out, because drawing from a Stephen King book, there's so much. So
Wait, final grade.
What?
A plus.
A++.
plus.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks, y'all.